Welcome to the first ever video for Engage Georgia. Today we're talking all about the upcoming ballot amendments for the November 8th state election. Georgia currently doesn't allow any form of citizen-initiated ballot measures, so all ballot measures must be referred to by the legislature. 4 ballot measures are certified to appear on the Georgia ballot on November 8th, 2016. Amendment 1 addresses state intervention in public schools found to be chronically failing. Sponsors include 5 Republican senators and 1 Democratic senator. Governor Nathan Deal has referred to the issue as his signature education legislation and his legacy to Georgia's student, stating that failing schools keep the cycle of poverty spinning from one generation to the next. Keep Georgia Schools Local is the leading opposition alongside of 8 organizations, mainly claiming the amendment represents an unwarranted, dangerous power grab that deserves overwhelming defeat by the voters of Georgia. The most recent AJC poll has the amendment trailing 59 to 37. A yes vote supports authorizing the state to form an opportunity school district that would govern certain amendments in secondary schools determined to be chronically failing. A no vote opposes the creation of the opportunity school district. Amendment 2 addresses generating revenue for the Safe Harbor for Sexually Exploited Children Fund. It would create a dedicated source of state funding to pay for victims' housing, counseling, and medical treatment. It would be paid for through a new $2,500 fine for anyone convicted of human trafficking and from a new $5,000 annual fee on strip clubs and other adult businesses. The legislation is sponsored by 3 Republicans and 1 Democrat. The executive director of the Georgia Catholic Conferences said, "This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to assure funding for rehabilitation of children who have been preyed upon." There's no major organization or group opposing the amendment. However, Doug Craig, a Libertarian candidate for governor of Georgia, has said there's no evidence in Georgia that shows the strip clubs have anything to do with the sex trafficking going on. There haven't been any official polls for the amendment. However, it passed the Senate by a 53-3 margin and the House with 151 votes. A yes vote supports providing penalties for court cases involving certain sex crimes in order to allocate the general revenue for the Safe Harbor for Sexually Exploited Children Fund. A no vote opposes providing penalties and fines for the fund. Amendment 3 represents replacing the Judicial Qualifications Commission. The commission was established to conduct investigations and hearings with respect to complaints of ethical misconduct by Georgia judges. 5 representatives sponsored the amendment, including House Judiciary Committee Chairman Wendell Willard, who said that the Judicial Qualifications Commission members were beginning to conduct themselves more like a star chamber than a judicial commission in handling the cases coming before them. Several organizations opposed the amendment, and the current chairman said, "You're stripping an independent, constitutionally mandated watchdog agency out of the Constitution and putting it to the complete whim of the politicians." The most recent Survey USA poll has an unclear resolution for the amendment, with 41% of voters still undecided. A yes vote supports replacing the Judicial Qualifications Commission with a new commission designed and governed by the General Assembly. A no vote opposes replacing the commission. Amendment 4 addresses the allocation of revenue generated from the sale of fireworks. It would dedicate an existing 5% sales tax on fireworks towards the state's trauma care network, training and equipment for Georgia firefighters, and local government's public safety efforts. 6 Republican representatives support the amendment alongside the Savannah Morning News, stating that Amendment 4 on the November 8th ballot is simple enough and worthy. The amendment was opposed by the Georgia NAACP. However, the final House and Senate votes only had 2 nay voters. A yes vote would dedicate revenue from fireworks sales tax to trauma care, fire protection services, and public safety, and a no vote would not dedicate revenue to those services. If these constitutional amendments pass, they must be approved by a majority of the Senate, and then they effectively become law. 3 measures did make the cut in 2016, including a recreational marijuana legalization amendment, the ability for municipalities to establish independent school districts, and the distribution of sales tax on a per-student basis. They all failed to get a 2/3 majority vote in both the legislative chambers. To find out more about Georgia Engage, stay tuned for more content following the election on November 8th. Please make sure to vote and stay engaged, Georgia.